Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into the sources you sent us about, well, a moment in history that's just so bizarre, so hilariously chaotic. It almost feels made up.
Which, yeah, ironically, it kind of was. We're not talking earthquakes or stock market crashes today.
Ooh.
We're unpacking a calamity born entirely out of perception, a massive collective misunderstanding, let's say.
All thanks to a radio broadcast. We are talking, of course, about the War of the Worlds panic back in 1938.
That's the one. And our mission, going through all this great material you've shared, is to figure out how on earth a radio play tricked so many people into thinking Martians were invading. Seriously.
And, what does it tell us? Why is this weird blip still relevant?
So let's paint the picture. It's October 30th, 1938, Halloween Eve.
Right. And you got to remember, millions of Americans are huddled around their radios. It's not just background noise. It's their main source of entertainment, news, everything.
It was the internet of its day, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And the trusted source for breaking news. Okay, so enter Orson Welles. Young guy, super talented, maybe a bit of a provocateur.
Definitely audacious. He and his Mercury Theater on the Air group decided to adapt H.G. Wells' novel, The War of the Worlds.
An alien invasion story for Halloween. Makes sense. Seems pretty straightforward.
But here's the twist. According to your sources, Wells didn't just say, okay, folks, here's our play. No.
He got clever.
Or mischievous, yeah. They set it up to sound like a regular music program that kept getting interrupted.
Like, really interrupted.
Exactly. Starting small, then boom, escalating into what sounded exactly like urgent breaking news bulletins.
And this is crucial, right? Because if you tuned in late...
You missed the intro. You missed the part saying, hey, this is fiction, folks.
One of your articles really hammered this home. You tune in 5 minutes late, you don't get the context, you just get panic.
Yeah, first reports are maybe kind of weird, but not impossible. Strange explosions on Mars.
Okay, then it gets closer. A meteorite lands. Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Still sounds like maybe just a weird science event.
But then, as your sources lay out, the deception just ramps up incredibly fast. It stops sounding like a science report and starts sounding like war.
You've got actors playing these frantic reporters, supposedly on the scene, sounding absolutely terrified.
You hear military officials giving these grim updates.
Yeah.
And panicked eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
I mean, the performances must have been something else.
Oh, totally. And the details they were broadcasting. Pure nightmare fuel, like you said. Sources mention these giant fighting machines, tripods.
Tripods emerging from this crater.
And apparently just, zapping the countryside with heat rays. It sounds so completely over the top now.
But back then, the acting, the sound effects, which were chillingly real for 1938 radio, it all just clicked.
It sounded authentic.
That's the thing your notes really highlight. For anyone who missed that crucial first minute, it didn't sound like a play. It sounded like the end of the world was being reported live. Horrifyingly real.
And the effect. Immediate. Widespread. People weren't just scared, they believed.
They genuinely thought the USA was under attack. By Martians. From Mars.
The sheer beautiful absurdity of it. That level of fear could be triggered by a story. It's just gold.
And what came next, as detailed in your sources, was this multi-state panic. It sounds utterly hysterical now, but imagine being in it.
Roads just jam solid. People in New Jersey, New York piling into cars trying to escape these imaginary alien war machines.
Can you picture it? Martha, forget the casserole. The Martians are here.
Right. And the phone lines. Just completely overloaded.
Yeah, switchboards melting down, everyone calling relatives, calling the police, emergency services, trying to get confirmation. Is it real? Are they coming this way?
Hospitals, too, apparently saw an influx. People in shock, total hysterics, anxiety attacks, convinced the aliens had landed.
Your sources paint this picture of just absolute chaos in emergency rooms. What do you even tell someone who thinks Martians are outside?
But this is my favorite part. The peak historical derp, as one source brilliantly put it.
Oh, yeah. Which bit?
Armed citizens. People grabbing their shotguns and hunting rifles.
To do what? Fight a tripod with buckshot.
Apparently. Or, even better, some folks reportedly drove towards Grover's Mill.
What? Towards the invasion? Why?
Who knows? Maybe to get a look? Offer surrender terms? It's baffling. The human element is just, oh, wow.
And the police were just as lost, swamped with calls they couldn't answer. Your sources even say some cops were driving around looking up, genuinely searching the skies for spaceships.
Total system breakdown because of Orson Welles and some sound effects. Incredible.
So how did this magnificent, ridiculous panic actually stop? It had to end sometime, right?
Thankfully, yeah, it wasn't days or anything, just a few hours.
Right, the broadcast finished, and Wells came on at that end and basically said, hope you enjoyed our little Halloween play, folks.
And news outlets, realizing what had happened, started putting out corrections pretty fast. No, Martians are not, repeat not, currently invading New Jersey.
But the next day, oh boy, the fallout, according to your sources, was huge.
Newspapers weren't talking about aliens. They were talking about the panic, the outrage at CBS and Wells, and just the sheer public embarrassment.
And that embarrassment, that's key to the humor, isn't it? As your material points out. Once the adrenaline wore off and people realized they'd fled their homes because of a radio drama.
Imagine that car ride home.
Eh.
So, guess we overreacted a bit there, huh, George? Mortification. Pure comedic gold in hindsight.
Wells, of course, became instantly famous. Or infamous, depending on who you asked.
The man who panicked America. Quite the calling card.
And it did spark serious conversations, your sources note, about how powerful radio was, the responsibility of broadcasters, the need for very clear disclaimers.
Yeah, a lesson learned in a spectacularly weird way.
So, okay, wrapping this up, why should you, listening now, care about this? Dive into your sources on a 1938 radio hoax.
It's more than just a funny story, right? Your sources really frame it well. It's this perfect storm, a disaster of perception.
Exactly. The trigger was completely unreal, fictional. But the panic, the chaos, that was very real. People felt real fear, took real actions.
It shows how potent media can be, sure, but also just how susceptible we can be, how quickly a convincing narrative, even a wild one, can hijack our sense of reality, especially in uncertain times.
Yeah, the sheer unadulterated absurdity is what makes it unique. Mass hysteria sparked by nothing more than good acting and sound effects. It's a testament to human gullibility, maybe, and the weird ways chaos just erupts.
A pure, truly unique human calamity, all because of a play.
It really makes you think, though, looking back through the lens of your 1938 sources, what does it tell us about today?
Right. With wall-to-wall media, instant news, deep fakes, how easily can our perception still be messed with?
When information, or maybe misinformation, sounds convincing and hits us fast,
Yeah.
how do we sort the real bulletins from the Martian invasions?
Yeah. A funny, but maybe also slightly chilling reminder from history. Always check your sources before you pack the car and grab the shotgun, maybe.
Definitely something to ponder.